Hello, welcome to this update for Europe and Asia. So in this video, we'll mention a few important things. So including the typhoons around the South China Sea, the next one developing near the Philippines, but also some strong storms in the Mediterranean around Spain and France. So stay tuned for all of that. Skip ahead to your section, especially if you're watching from Europe, because we'll talk about the typhoons first. So let's start here. There's this typhoon, Typhoon Tino, there in the South China Sea. They also call it Kamaiji, and it's now a relatively strong typhoon, not strong, but it's a category 1 to category 2, heading straight to Vietnam and for Laos. So please be careful. This might make landfall as soon as Thursday night, tomorrow, especially into Friday. So please stay safe with this. The European model shows landfall around Thursday night as well, and the remnants of this will cause some very heavy rain around Cambodia, spots of Laos, and eventually to Thailand as well Friday, as the remnants go deeper into Southeast Asia there. So please stay safe, be careful in those areas. One of the main hazards will be flooding, especially in Vietnam and some spots there, like close to 200 millimeters in a few spots, 198, 167. So please stay safe with this rain. Be careful with flooding, flash flooding, especially because typhoons like this can cause some tremendous flooding. Basically, all tropical cyclones. So please stay safe. And the Philippines might have another serious situation to deal with, but let's see if the rest of Southeast Asia first. Shows like central, northern Vietnam, close to 100 millimeters as well. Spots of Thailand as the remnants of this goes towards Cambodia and Thailand, some possible flooding, even to southern Myanmar. So stay safe there. More rain over most of central China as well, and most of Japan as well. A few showers, so be careful. Now in the Philippines, the European models are already showing a potential tropical storm or typhoon coming later next week. So here there's, let's see, Western Pacific. The GFS shows Typhoon Tino there going towards Vietnam, and then it develops the next one quite strong, like quite rapidly as well. It goes, don't mind the strength because the GFS is insane, but it has like 922 millibars, goes right to the northern part of Luzon and to Taiwan, the South China Sea again. And later, the GFS still shows some disturbances. So let's see the European for comparison. It does show like Typhoon Tino there towards Vietnam around 969 millibars before landfall. Might vary a bit, but basically category 2 or slightly stronger. So please be careful with storm surge in the coast of Vietnam, especially central-ish southern Vietnam where this will make landfall. Some dangerous storm surge expires, so please stay safe. It develops the other system slowly, and then it does strengthen to 961 millibars, close to category 3 on the European. Does go to 958 as a big, like a big typhoon, the size of it, and then it goes north towards Taiwan. So if this hits the Philippines, Taiwan is sure to get hit as well, and later the remnants near the southern islands of Japan. So please, please monitor this. There are the hurricane models as well. They had it yesterday. Let's see if the HAFS A has it. I think it's Calamaja, so 32. I think they already call it tropical depression 32. So shows like, let's just see it here first. Yes, 32. And Zoom Earth already has a forecast for like reaching very strong typhoon strength right towards the northern Philippines. So here the has a model. It did a good job with Melissa last month. So these hurricane models do exaggerate a lot, but many times they are very accurate. So it does show it starts developing there. and then it goes and it does go down to 938 millibars by Saturday, 918, 907. It passes as a super typhoon, 911 millibars north of Luzon. The HEVS 8 doesn't have the eye itself making landfall, but it might scrape the northern tip of Luzon and then pass through those northern islands there to the South China Sea. So this is just one forecast. You'll still change a billion times. The HEVS B has no storms, and the other hurricane models are still lagging behind. But soon enough, they will have the storm as well. But please be aware in the Philippines because this is most certainly about to hit you next Sunday into next Monday around November. Let me see, today's the 5th, so around November 8th to November 9th next Sunday. So please be aware. If I were you, I would start some preparations, especially like central northern Luzon in the Philippines. No need to rush right now because this is still somewhat far, but just already start thinking of some possible preparations to do. So please warn others and be aware, especially because of the flooding this might cause and the damaging winds and everything. And it's too far to forecast wind gusts for that system, but this one into Vietnam tomorrow will cause some damaging winds as well. More than 100 km per gust, especially the typhoon gusts themselves, might be stronger because these models here are not high resolution, so they don't capture the full spectrum of it. But you can expect gusts even to like 130 km per gust or more near the coast. So please stay safe. Thursday, Friday, still some strong winds left over from this across Laos, even Cambodia in other areas. So please stay safe and warn others in those areas. Now for let's check some storms across southern Asia into Europe. So does show here like Papua New Guinea into Indonesia, more scattered showers and storms, even northern Australia there, some more showers, and shows some more thunderstorms in Sumatra, Java, in the tropics there as usual. So just be careful. Some storms might be strong enough to cause brief flash flooding and some heavy rains. So just be careful. You know what it's like there in the tropics. So be aware. Southernmost India will get some rain. Spots in Sri Lanka, some stronger thunderstorms too. But the rest of India is officially dry. So shows still northeastern India few showers, Bangladesh, but the monsoon is already mostly gone. But you have it back next year. But it's good that things dried up in those areas that were flooding earlier this year. So be careful still around southern India and Sri Lanka. And the Maldives are calm for now, but like the southernmost islands might get more showers. But for now, it's calm in the Maldives. So be aware. We'll talk about the crazy winter weather in a second. I just want to mention these storms across southern Europe. So, in the next 5 days, shows around the Eastern Mediterranean, around Greece and Albania, 106 millimeters or more. Spots in southern Italy might have some strong storms as well. In Sardinia, northern Africa. So, be careful. But the craziest thing about to happen will be in a few hours from now in eastern Spain tomorrow, Monday. So, there was that big trough with some high winds and heavy rain across Portugal and Spain. And if you check the radar, it's still happening. Many showers and storms marching across central Spain right now. And this is the RO model, this high resolution model there for central southern Europe. And look what it has for tomorrow morning. So this is around like 7 a.m. It already has some very strong storms near the Ebro Delta and some snow on the Pyrenees and more rain in central northeastern Spain. But by Thursday morning, it has like this big convective line across most of Catalonia into the Balearic Islands, especially like shows around 8 a.m. between 8 and 11 a.m. in Barcelona. This should occur around 10 a.m. until like 12 p.m. in Barcelona. And so please be careful. If this this comes true, there might be some torrential rain locally in a few areas of Catalonia, including Barcelona, and some very high wind gusts. So please be careful if this comes true, because many times this model says stuff and it never happens. But this has a high likelihood of happening. So please be careful. It might be slightly weaker than this in case this is exaggerating, but this could well happen, some torrential rain in a few spots. So please stay safe. Snow on the Pyrenees, the high elevations. Expect some snow. By the afternoon, this leaves towards southern France, some very heavy rain across southern France, but the showers do initiate again in the afternoon. Spots in northeastern Spain, maybe locally a few storms, the Mediterranean, Thursday afternoon, and still snow lasting until Friday morning down the Pyrenees. Friday afternoon already shows more rain in western, northern Spain, so be aware as well. But especially tomorrow, these storms there in the morning might be pretty concerning. So warn others and be careful there. So here, the the Storm Prediction Center in Europe does have like a level one there as well for the forecast across eastern Spain, most of Spain, even Portugal, and spots there in Greece. I'll just check if this forecast for today or if it's tomorrow, because if it's for today, forget about it. But if this is a level one today, tomorrow Thursday, if I were making this, I would put a level two across northeastern Spain, especially near Barcelona, more areas. In my opinion, it could be a level two because of damaging winds and torrential rain. But this valid Wednesday until Thursday at 6 a.m. So today's Wednesday, so never mind this. But we did have this level one in Greece today. So be aware, and they might update this tomorrow. But if that forecast I showed you comes true, you will have some level two conditions in spots of northeastern Spain. So please be aware. And here's the European model just for comparison. It doesn't have anything that intense, but it does have some very scared showers and storms, a good amount of scared storms to be careful with. So be aware those areas tomorrow, and it will continue across France as well. So the high resolution model has the torrential rain there. It goes and might get pretty rough across southern France and the southern coast as well. And later this doesn't go further out, but might go extending to the Mediterranean. So the European Thursday to Friday in Sicily, Corsica has some snow on the Western Alps as well. And then Friday shows some more storms southern Italy, there into the Balkans. So be aware. And possibly after that, another cease in the Mediterranean, because it shows Friday, another cold front traverses Spain during Friday, possibly more rain Saturday morning across the Balearic Islands and eastern Spain. And then this goes as a broad low pressure into the Mediterranean Saturday through Sunday, especially during Sunday, and more storms possible in the Balkans Monday. So please be aware, because both across the West Mediterranean and Eastern Mediterranean, you have two rounds of storms to be careful with. One Thursday, tomorrow, there in the West, and then Saturday across the Eastern Mediterranean, and Saturday across the West again, and then Sunday to Monday more in the Balkans and Italy. So please be careful with lightning, gusty winds, and some heavy rain and possible flash flooding, and warn others in those areas. The accumulated precipitation, the European, does show some rain across the UK and Ireland as well, a thing or two in Scandinavia and Iceland, but the rest of Europe is nothing significant for now. So there's the RO model for the rain accumulation. It doesn't have tremendous amounts, it just has maximum 60 millimeters, but with all that rain a short amount of time might cause flooding. So be careful. Those areas for snow does show, like especially in the Pyrenees and the Western Alps, show some. The Europeans starting to show northern Spain as well, some 2 centimeters, 3 centimeters, more than 20 in the Pyrenees, Western Alps close to 17, and let's see if the RO model has snow. So it does have in the Pyrenees 9 to 15 centimeters as well. So be aware, and eventually I might go into the Alps. So be aware in those areas. And now let's just see some general wingus. Shows like Alright, today, northern Spain shows some strong gusts, even to 100 km per gust, because if you check the jet stream map, this is a pretty strong trough coming in there. I don't have the map here now. I think I have it here. So it's a good way to illustrate, especially there like Western Europe. So there's like the winds, 200 millibars. It shows like this broad trough like coming down into Iberia and France, and then if this moves east, a low pressure might form the Mediterranean, a broad low pressure, and then still showing some more troughs later to watch, especially later this month because the GFS is also showing some possible below average temperatures later this month across Central Europe. Now it's showing some periods of above average temperatures, but in between those shows slightly below average in the Alps and a few areas. But on our last forecast, we talked about a big cold snap or something. That is not trending so much anymore. But even without that, you will have some colder nights, spots in the Alps in Central to Eastern Europe, some pretty chilly nights already, especially in the Alps with negative temperatures, spots in Norway, Sweden, Finland, and Iceland, those negative temperatures, and a few spots milder. The UK still mild, spots along the coast, the Mediterranean, but some nights, like Saturday morning, most of southern Germany colder in the Alps, spots in the Caucasus, and in the Pyrenees, close to 1 degree as well, and most of Scandinavia there showing some colder temperatures. So Saturday, Sunday shows like, especially as going to early next week, most of Finland into Scandinavia is a colder trend. So be careful still, like some active temperatures central Spain into the Pyrenees and spots there in the Alps as well. So Monday, Tuesday, and still pretty chilly Central Europe into next week. So be careful and still be careful today and tomorrow. Those damaging wind gusts, northern Spain into the Pyrenees, southern France, and along the Mediterranean too. So be careful. Saturday shows some strong gusts again in the Mediterranean. And so stay safe, potential northern Scandinavia. Sunday showing some gusts. So stay safe. In Asia, I show some struggles in the Himalayas, spots in there in the western Himalayas into Tibet. So be careful. And then Wednesday, this does diminish at night and in the morning, but picks up in the afternoon again. This is a classic winter pattern in those areas. So on Thursday shows like into Mongolia, possibly some strong gusts, spots of China there as well. And then in the northern sea of Japan into Russia, those troughs is some higher gusts as well. There comes the super typhoon. This is Sunday, and then still shows some strong gusts the east coast of Russia there, spots in some ranges in northern China, and some isolated spots there in Russia. So we'll monitor the progress of these typhoons very closely, but the European is already close to more than 200 km per gust in the Philippines Monday the 10th. So please be aware and show like spots in Kazakhstan, Russia, Tibet, some occasional higher gusts next week as well. So be careful. But the wildest thing happening in Asia now are those temperatures across Russia and Siberia. It's right like minus 39 degrees Celsius, isolated spots in Siberia, minus 40. So it's extremely cold already, minus 41. I know you're used to it, but please stay safe. Like most of Eastern Russia, brutal temperatures across Southeastern Russia. Western Russia is kind of fine, but Central Russia, extremely cold. So please stay safe in Eastern Russia. Be careful the wind chills as well. The feels like temperatures might be like if this is minus 40, the feels like temperatures might go below minus 50 or even minus 60. So please stay safe in those areas. Stay warm. Northern Mongolia, northern China, negative temperatures. In the mountains, pretty cold, alright. Tajikistan to close to minus 30. Spots there in Kyrgyzstan as well, in Tibet, northernmost India and Pakistan into Afghanistan. So stay safe. Those temperatures in Turkey and the Caucasus in the high elevations. So stay safe. The afternoon does increase in the Arabian Peninsula across India, southern Pakistan increases a little bit, especially in spots in Indonesia too, and western Saudi Arabia. So be aware. And then Thursday shows like spots still in the northern Russia, so minus 36, more spots central Russia, northern China, northern island of Japan, 0 to -2, even -3, a few more mountains there in Japan. Along the coast, it's fine, nothing too extreme, but like North Korea, already some active temperatures too, between this corner between Mongolia, China, Russia, and Kazakhstan. So be careful. Thursday, Friday, still cold. Might get colder most of the interior of Kazakhstan into Uzbekistan, in spots in central Russia, kind of creeping towards the west, but still not there. So please be careful. And like shows to Saturday afternoon, still warmer there in the south, but does get very crisp across northwestern Russia, not the extreme northwest, but like central northwestern areas, central Russia, and then Sunday, Monday, still warmer in the south, but like those occasional cold waves coming further south into Central Asia, Mongolia, almost frozen, and spots in northern China. So please stay safe, be careful, and stay warm. The snow in Asia between today, November 5th and November 10th, does show possibly a few isolated spots in the Himalayas, like northern Nepal, a few spots, but especially central China in the high elevations, a few centimeters. So be aware. And spots there in northern Kazakhstan and Russia, those troughs come from Russia with snow and cold air. Westernmost areas are fine, just like in extreme northwestern Russia, more snow near Scandinavia. And talking about Scandinavia, we didn't even show the snow there. Shows northern Norway as well, spots of Sweden, and some in the Balkans, deep there in southeastern Europe, near Kosovo, Montenegro, shows a little bit, and even Romania centimeter or two. So be aware, shows there the rest of Asia into Mongolia, most of Mongolia, especially central northern areas in the mountains, northern China, expect some, northern North Korea, centimeter or two. It shows in Japan there already some in the mountains, 9 centimeters, the GFS is some as well, and spots in the North Island of Japan, more snow too. So be careful. Extreme eastern Russia, possibly the highest amounts, shows 118 centimeters. More spots along the Pacific as those big extratropical cyclones come near the coast with damaging winds and snow, some blizzard conditions and freezing weather in eastern Russia. So I think you got the idea. Please be careful there. Northern Kazakhstan, Mongolia, spots northern China. So please stay safe. Long range shows more in Russia and a little bit more to Turkey and the Caucasus next 15 days, but this is too long, so don't worry about that. But stay safe and be aware in those areas. So warn others about all of these storms and everything, and stay safe.